guys. Thanks for tuning to 1UP Plus for our second episode. And today we're talking about Intec Gaming. And with me, I have Reecey. Hey, Reecey, how you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. We know with the landscape of Arcade1Up that the prices are going up. So obviously we need some more refreshing news, and no other than Intec Gaming providing us with third-party hardware to basically expand our existing Gen 1, Gen 2 cabs. We know that Intec Gaming recently just released their Switch Fight Stick for the Arcade1Up. Pretty amazing, got a bang for bucks. So it's been pretty good. And I know that you have also purchased one recently. So
yes, I've got one going in my I've got one going in my dead Marvel superheroes cab, and it's brought new life into it, and I'm loving it.
Not all the viewers will know what is an Intec Gaming fighting stick for the Switch. Maybe just rehash what it is actually. So it's basically a control panel that connects to a PCB board that's provided as well. So you replace your PCB board that's already in the Arcade1Up machine, put in this new PCB, which converts the signal from the Switch into the monitor, the generic monitor that's provided in the Arcade1Up. And from there, the audio signal and the power is given to the control panel. The control panel itself has two speakers. I'll provide some images, some videos of what we're talking about here. But if you're being active in the mod community, you know what we're talking about. And from there, the Nintendo library is there for you to play. Any game that you own or you want to buy, you can play on an Intec Gaming fighting stick.
And to put one of these Intec fighting sticks in your cab is an easier mod than the Raspberry Pi mod people have been doing since day one.
This looked easy when I first read about it and first heard people talking about it. I was like you said, it's a
plug and play. Yeah. It's virtually
plug and play, pretty much. But we know that it also quirks with the actual unit itself. So the main concern I had was the wake up issue. Once you put the Switch to sleep, there's no way to wake up the Switch using the control panel.
So you still need a genuine Switch controller for that.
That's right. I did follow up with Intec Gaming on this, and the conclusion is that it can't be patched. Unfortunately, it's actually the microchip that's in the Intec Gaming fighting stick doesn't support this function. Yeah, it's a minor, but it doesn't mean if they do a revision, a version 2, they'll possibly have that support, which will be good, because that's the only major complaint I have with the device. Other than that, it's great. The first announcement that I want to share with everyone is one that I've already done through third-party dongles, which is the PlayStation 4 versions. So Intec Gaming has confirmed they are releasing a PlayStation 4 version, and that's coming in September. Basically, the only difference from the Switch version and PlayStation 4 version is they're including 2 dongles. So hopefully this dongle they're going to provide not just enables the wired. So I'm hoping that the dongle they're releasing will provide support for Bluetooth as well. So Bluetooth and wired. Hopefully that's the advantage of buying the official PlayStation 4 version. In terms of pricing, it's not confirmed yet, but they expect it to be similar to what the Switch version is priced, plus the two dongles on top, which they estimate around 15 to 20 USD each, so about 175, which is good. So there are people that are struggling to find a dongle at the moment, I believe. A video has made that dongle sold out on Amazon, but there are definitely alternative dongles out there. So what do you feel, Reecey? Have you purchased a dongle that I've mentioned in my video?
I have got a couple, but I haven't had a chance to give them a run. Very good.
And if you guys haven't seen my video of the PlayStation 4 mod, definitely I'll leave a link below. All right, so the next one that I want to talk about is the Sega Genesis. So
the Mega Drive.
It's the Mega Drive. So tell us why are you calling it the Mega Drive?
Because I'm from the land down under, and it is a Mega Drive where I'm from. It was a Mega Drive when I was a child, and it's still a Mega Drive today. One's PAL, one's NTS. I've always called it a Mega Drive, so I'm not going to start calling it a Genesis.
So we know that another YouTuber, Mad Little Pixel, had a video that demonstrated the Sega Genesis. It's pretty much, it looks identical to the Switch version. Just it has 6 instead of 4 buttons. 8 buttons, sorry. Yeah, any 8 buttons. No. The 6 buttons will support Street Fighter, obviously. It's pretty much...
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks pretty decent. We can see, obviously, the cartridge here, which is a unique design.
So I do wonder how much that's going to stick out in front of the screen, but maybe it's not that bad.
Yeah, I think when we talk about the NES version, I think that's more of a concern. I think the cartridges for this Genesis or Mega Drive is not as big as the NES. Is that right?
No way near.
It's very unique, right? In how it's different from the Switch, because the Switch relies a connection to the console itself that you have to provide. But this one here, we're talking about an inbuilt console.
This is thinking outside the box at its finest.
This is genius, I reckon.
This is great.
Because we know there's Arcade1Up sold more than 1 million units already, and they're tapping into a market of people that love Sega and Nintendo that will have all these in their collection. But now there's a reason for us to bring out our cartridge back out. So yeah, it's a pretty much like Mad Little Pixel said, it's a portable console. And if you want just plug it into your Arcade1Up.
I think you're mad if you're not.
Well, he is mad, right? He didn't have Arcade1Up
Yeah.
when he did his review.
I'm like, plug it, put it on an Arcade1Up. God
I
damn.
know. What we have here, obviously, there's 2 speakers. We can see from here. But what are these buttons? Because we know that the Switch version has multiple buttons here at the top. Obviously, this is the power button here, power, and this is the volume. And then here is the 3 buttons here is reset. Then it's start and select, which I don't know which order it is, but it's start and select.
No, the Mega Drive only had a start button. It didn't have start and select.
Oh.
So maybe one's a turbo button. Yeah. So this is an 8-bit DOE. So these buttons here don't pretend to see them. So that's what you would Sega Mega Drive controller look like without the top ones here. So it's just the D-pad, the 6 buttons, and your start button. And obviously this is the 8-bit DOE. I use this with the with me Nintendo Switch.
Is there a turbo button on that controller?
No, there isn't a turbo button on this one. It wasn't standard.
Yep.
But a lot of third parties had a turbo button, so you could just hold down your kick or your punch. It was good when you were E Honda or Chung Li. You could just go boom and hit turbo, and off you went.
So we suspect this should be possibly a turbo button.
Yeah, I'd assume that's what's going on there.
So let's move on to other pictures we have here. So obviously there's a cover there.
Yep.
That's how it was back then, right?
Yep, correct.
Yep. So more shots here. So these shots were provided by IntecGaming. They were happy enough to share all these images to us, share with you guys. But yeah, it looks pretty much exactly the same. There's no T-molding. Here's the backside. Yeah, the backside is different from HDMI. Yeah, that's right. The only difference is that it has a HDMI. I think it comes with a L-shaped HDMI adapter here. It goes up, but they're providing an adapter. I think that's what Mad Little Pixel said. They're providing an adapter so it's easy to plug in. There is a HDMI, and up here, down here, I think there's 2 USB ports, micro USB ports for power and charging, or even firmware update. All right, so Reecey, so we know about the HDMI and the micro USB, but there's also a feature to adjust the aspect ratio. I think it's this one here. It's an option to change it to 16:9 or 4:3. So basically, you can stretch it or not, or put it into the actual ratio that it should be.
I suppose that's handy if you're using this as a console on your modern TV.
That's right. So this option is available on both Genesis and NES. Note that, and this side obviously, the same as the Switch version, is the actual ribbon cable to plug in from the to the PCB board. Yeah, this is the front, I think, special, and another top view.
That's a good view there.
Yeah. So
the big question is, what do the graphic overlays look like?
That's right. Oh yes. We know with the Switch version, graphic wasn't that great. It's quite comical, to be honest. But no, it's better than nothing for the Switch version. I still use the what's the Horyuken?
Horyuken or something?
Horyuken, yeah. I still use that on my one. So funny. Yeah,
that's a good laugh.
Interesting.
That's a good laugh.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they provide for this one. Maybe we'll just put a kind of like a fake Sonic on it or something.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts, Reece? So what games are you looking forward to? Because I'm not a big Sega fan. I was more of a Nintendo guy. So what games are you looking forward to, and what games do you want to play on an arcade machine?
Oh, I'm excited for this. I can't wait for it. Space Harrier 2 is a sprite scroller that was really good on the Mega Drive. I think it would translate good onto the arcade. Well, Sonic 2 was a fantastic game, but is it going to be a fantastic game on an arcade? Streets of Rage 2... Alien Soldier, Shinobi 3, they're all good games that, if they're arcade ports, they're good on the Mega Drive. Yeah. Strider, obviously, one of the best arcade games, in my opinion, anyway. So that's another good Mega Drive game. Comic Zone, that's hidden gem, so to say. Check out Comic Zone if you haven't played it.
Cool. I need to check that out myself then. So I guess it really comes down to the video and sound emulation, right? So have you experienced much of those Mega Drive clones?
Yeah, I've played a few. So the Mega Drive Mini, the official one, that was good. The year before, At Games brought out Mega Drive Mini or Classic or whatever they called it, and that was trash. Yeah, it wasn't the best. But Mega Drive emulation and clone consoles have been around for a while now, so it shouldn't be too hard for Intec to have a decent clone console.
Have you watched Mad Little Pixel's review on this?
Yes, I have, yep.
Unit.
And it looked like a run game.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. I think overall he said that the sound was not too bad, the video was not too bad, and overall it was pretty good. So that's coming from a guy who has a lot of experience running these retro consoles. So if he says pretty good, it means it's going to be decent for the mass consumers out there. I haven't mentioned this, but the Sega Genesis or Sega Mega Drive fight stick for the Arcade1Up is to release this in October.
Okay.
And the price is obviously to be confirmed as well because they're currently still testing it. So there we go. We have the PlayStation 4 in September. We have the Sega Genesis in October. And now we're going to talk about the next one, NES version. Let's bring up some pictures. These are the images provided. So this is the NES version, 2 buttons, 2 joysticks, obviously. And you can see that cartridge you mentioned earlier, you're concerned that it may block the screen. I think it pretty much will block the screen, depending on which angle. I think if you're sitting down, it will. If I look at my Arcade1Up, it will cover the bottom a bit. To me, it's gonna block the screen. I don't know how they're gonna redesign this because where else can you put the cartridge?
That's a tough one. Yeah, there's nowhere else you can really put a cartridge. Maybe everyone just needs to get Famicom versions.
I'm a Nintendo fan, but I'm a Famicom fan. I don't have an NES. When I was a kid, I had a Famicom, so I'm planning to just get one of those converters. They were called Honeycomb or Honeywell back then, but you still can buy them. I'm planning to get one of those converters and then play my Famicom collections. I have a lot of Famicom cartridges, so I'm looking forward to trying this, providing it works. If you play on a riser, you are technically looking down towards the screen, right?
Yes, you are. Yes.
So maybe it's not as bad. I'm pretty sure they would have done their testing on this unit. Like I said, this has been confirmed. This product is coming out in October. So for them to confirm this and also provide images of these to us and also a demo for my little pixel, it means that they have done their testing. NES does have a select button, right? So we can safely say, let's just go find.
Yeah, it's a start select. Yeah.
So a reset, start, and select. For sure, and repeat it here again. So it's the same. 2 speakers, cartridge, power, and volume. This one looks very spacious because there's only 2 buttons for either player, so that's good.
That'll be good.
Same deal. They didn't have the HDMI adapter here, but it's the same deal, exactly the same as Genesis or Mega Drive. For me, I'm looking forward to this because I've got a Famicom collection, a lot of Japanese games that I don't know the English name for that I want to play on the arcade machine. What about you? Are you an NES fan?
No, I never owned an NES as a kid. I have an NES Classic, but that's about it. I mean, like, it's going to have its market. Like, it's obviously got the games and a lot of fans, and probably a lot of games that play well on Arcade1Up. Yeah, more power to them. Yeah,
so that's all the pictures I have for the NES and the Genesis. Intec was happy enough to share with us. Thank you, Intec Gaming, for providing these pictures for us. So this one here, again, is at the same time as a Genesis. It is planned to be released in October. But yeah, Intec Gaming has definitely done a lot of testing. They're still testing at the moment when I last spoke to them. So it's good that they're making sure the emulation, sound, and the video is working. So based on what Mad Little Pixel said, he said the video was soft and not as sharp, but it was okay. And the sound was a little bit off. Hopefully,
that might be to do with LCD conversion, maybe.
Possibly. So, but Intec Gaming did say that they are looking to the feedback provided. So hopefully they can just tinker all this and fix all these little small issues for the final production release in October. The next one that I want to discuss, the next announcement is
next one. Intec Gaming. I only know about these two.
I didn't give you the brief, did I?
That's another Toycade moment.
No. Well, this one, this is an interesting one because this one came about with me talking to them. I'm happy to say that I was part of this idea and I also helped with providing some pictures and stuff like that. They're releasing an expansion pack for the pinball machine. So Intec Gaming is gonna resolve Arcade1Up's areas that they kind of missed, which is the resolution, the shortcomings. Yes, the shortcomings. That's right. That's the word. The visual experience wasn't there. So it's official that they're coming up with a pinball expansion kit to convert your Arcade1Up pinball machine to be able to play the Nintendo Switch. There's going to be a lot of questions. I know that the first question I asked was, what are you going to do about with the DMD in the back? Are you going to support it? Because we know there's a lot of people out there that's done this mod on a DIY pinball machine, and they couldn't get the DMD working because there's no way to support the DMD. And there was a lot of ideas that people use, but we'll talk about that later. But yes, this pinball expansion pack is also targeted to be released in October. Let's just go to the history of this. Right. So when I spoke to Intec Gaming, I shared in my video, my Attack from Mars review video that I did for them. I said there was a lot of shortcomings, a lot of disappointments, especially in the visual area. It just didn't hit that spot. I wasn't happy with my experience. And they took that back on. And the person I spoke to went back to his manager and basically said, yes, this is a product that we want to explore. So I did send a lot of pictures of the internals of my Attack from Mars and also did some initial tests with them with the existing unit. Basically went back and then maybe a month after that they came back to the kit. Thanks for the idea. We're going ahead with it. The DMD is the biggest issue here, right? If you're going to convert it, what are you going to do about the back screen? Because we know that there's no way to make the DMD appear with the DMD because the Pinball FX and the arcade pinball on Switch, the Switch in general don't support a secondary monitor like you do on a PC. They said that they're still working on that, and they said if you, have any ideas, let me know. So I did tell them that how people did it in DIY projects. People use a camera to target the DMD area of the switch screen, which is usually the top left. So you can see this image here. This is one of the first images that Intec sent me. So you can see that the top left here is where the DMD would be. Most DIY people will just put a camera right above it and pointing down, and that will then that will show on the DMD itself. I'm not sure what IntecGaming is doing about this. They said they'll explore that, whether it's possible or not. Last time I checked, they said no, DMD might not be in use, but they will explore options. So this is not finalized yet in terms of what they're doing with the DMD. It may not be nothing. It may be just be that DMD might not be reused, which is, I think that's probably will be the only downside if you're considering this product and you realize that you lose a DMD. That maybe may turn people off.
But I think the gains would almost be worth it.
Yes, I reckon it will be. The visual experience from, you played the pinball on the Nintendo Switch. It's pretty good, pretty decent. It's
the handheld itself is 720, but
720.
It outputs 1080. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah. If that's the case, that's pretty good, because that's one of the shortcomings with the actual Arcade1Up. But yeah, the next question I had for them is, what are you going to do with this piece of plank here? No, if you were to follow AtGames, Legend Pinball, right? They had a control panel.
They did.
And I told them that it's good to play pinball. But if you want to attract more buyers and have an ability to play other games, this will be an
People have
ideal
liked that feature. People have liked that feature on the app games.
This is one of the questions and one of the suggestions I said to IntecGaming. They said that they're looking into it. They're not undecided about this when I spoke to them back then. So if they can convert this into a control panel, just a single play, it's too small. We know that this plank here is really small. All they need to do is just put in a joystick and 2 buttons or something like that, or actually
eight buttons,
that will be a problem actually, because the Nintendo Switch has a lot of buttons. A lot of buttons. And this is what I suggested to them. They said, okay, we'll take it back and have a look into it. This is one of the recent pictures they sent me. You can see there's a board here. I'm not sure if that's an actual board that they're going to use to provide.
Okay.
So they're already testing other games. So this is happening as we speak. I still believe they're still testing this. So there's a lot of work happening at the moment to make this happen for us. So I'm really excited.
That's exciting.
Yeah, but can you play horizontal games on a vertical screen? Can you? Do you know? You can't. Because the Pinball FX and all that, and Pinball Arcade has an option for you to rotate your screen to play vertical.
Yeah.
And if I show you the next pic.
Yes.
So they said they worked it out, which is I'm surprised.
I think they could. Yeah, that should be easy enough. The PCB to rotate the picture. So the Switch still thinks it's still output on landscape, but then once it hits the PCB would just rotate the image.
Oh, awesome! All right, so maybe that's what they went down with. But in this picture, which they sent me, I did question. They've got this HDMI dongle here, which is not, it's another company. So I'm not sure if that's what you're using. And even this image here is not a Nintendo Switch game, right?
No. They're probably playing a hacked Switch.
Yeah, definitely something not right here, but obviously they just want to demonstrate that they can do horizontal game on a vertical screen. So these are the first images of the product.
Very good.
Coming all along. But if I show you the first one, this one here, this one looks more official because it has a PCB board.
Yep, cool.
So I definitely kind of hold on to my Attack from Mars.
Obviously, it would not use the solenoids. I don't think Nintendo Switch has that ability.
So I think you will lose out on the solenoid as well, which is, to me, after experiencing Arcade1 as well, I don't really care.
They need
a better visual experience than
they're not as powerful as I thought they would.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope.
But look, IntecGaming hasn't provided me the full details of what they plan to do with this kit itself. Maybe they'll have some kind of feedback. I'm not sure if that's possible or not. A lot of unknowns at the moment, but we know that this is coming.
That's a good step.
Exciting stuff. Definitely. This is great that they're giving us, the Arcade1Up community more options to reuse their existing cabs. So I did mention this is coming. They're planning October as well. So obviously these dates are not. Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Scrub the NES and I will get one pinball.
So we got the Genesis, we got the NES, and we got the pinball coming in October. That's 3 new products in October and one.
That's exciting.
One in September. So it seems like IntecGaming has got a lot coming very soon. Obviously, these dates may change depending on availability of microchips and stuff like that, and shipping. So this may be later this year. Yeah, shipping time.
They suggested. Obviously, your flipper buttons. Have they suggested what they're doing about that?
No. Those details we don't know. I did ask. I guess they're trying to work out what's the most easiest way to modify the pinball. One of the advantages of the Switch one is so easy, plug and play. So hopefully they can work out a way to just simply just plug and play. A few screws here and there. Obviously, but yeah, minimal as possible, and give us a good experience. So I have high expectations. All right, Reecey. So we know on today's episode that so far we have the PlayStation 4 in September, the Genesis NES, and the Pinball in October.
I'm very excited for that Pinball. That is good news.
That's right. It's good to see that there's more products coming.
Toycade, mate, I'm going to cut you off, but I've noticed over your shoulder Killer Instinct half a dozen times on a Street Fighter cab. What's the go with that?
Good pickup, mate. That is Killer Instinct Gold running on my Arcade1Up. And we know Killer Instinct Gold is only released on the 64. Yeah. So yes, Nintendo 64 is running on my Arcade1Up, and it's only possible through Intec Gaming. So yes, the last product is the N64 Intec Gaming Kit. I do want to say that this product is not confirmed for 2021. At the moment, they are working through a few issues. So yes, it still runs. But how is it running on my machine? So Intec Gaming didn't send me a sample of the N64. They sent me the relevant parts that will make it work, that they're planning to use. Yes. So these parts are readily available on Amazon if you want to test it out yourself. So basically, Intec Gaming has a lot of parts or peripherals that they sell for retro consoles, and they offer dongles here and there to enable you to play latest controllers on these classic consoles. So Intec Gaming basically they were kind enough to send me a couple of parts for me just to play around and test and maybe provide some feedback, which is what I have done for them. So the first part they sent me is this HD cable to enable you to play or output the video to a LCD screen. It's basically the HDMI out from your Nintendo 64. So they sent me this, and they also sent me two of these, which is the Bluetooth controller. So basically you can connect your modern, or in this case, connect my Fight Stick, my Nintendo Switch Fight Stick, to my console. So I can use a Fight Stick to play Nintendo 64 games, which is what I have done, which is why it's running in the background. So they sent me two of these, and basically this is what I got from them. So thank you very much, Intec Gaming. Thanks for sending that across. I did play around. I did provide some feedback on how it plays on the Nintendo 64 on the Arcade1Up. You don't have to use it for Arcade1Up. These parts can be used for anything. I think this allows you to play other controllers, maybe Xbox or PlayStation controllers. So this is Lilac Wars on my machine. And you can see straight away it's not sharp. It's kind of washed out, blurred. So yeah, you can see here. You can see how washed out and pixelated it is. It's not really clear and sharp.
But that's a Gen 1 screen as well.
That's right. It's a Gen 1 screen. I think it will look better on a BOE. But basically, I spent good 2 or 3 weeks playing around with my N64 using these parts on my Arcade1Up. And the result weren't good, but it does show promise. And obviously, what I said earlier is that they're still working on a few issues, and which is a reason why it won't be released. So ideally, they're planning to release this in 2021, the same time as the others. But no, they've ran into a few video quality issues, which is evident here. And also, I provided a lot of feedback on their button mappings. There's a lot of buttons not here. Let me show you the video of how it's all connected at the back. So I've got a few videos here showing the connection at the back. So I'm sure a few of you are keen to see how it works, or how my setup is work at the moment, or for my Intec Gaming rig, test rig. The HDMI out for the Nintendo 64. You can see that plug is designed for the Nintendo 64. And you can see that I've got the two gaming stick Bluetooth dongles there.
That is a stack of wires at the moment.
It's a very busy rig because I've got the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, and also the Nintendo 64 now. So there's 3 consoles in there. But that's me showing how it's all connected. There you go. Nintendo 64 running on the Arcade1Up with all those additional parts that Intec Gaming sent. This is the game that I'm looking forward to. Once they fix up all the minor issues here and there with video and the sound and the mapping, this is the first game I'm going to play. Killer Instinct Gold.
I'd get it just for Killer Instinct as well. I love Killer Instinct.
Yeah. Let's just talk about the button issues.
As
you can see, the bottom 2 buttons are the 2 buttons that in Street Fighter, since the light kick and the medium kick are the 2 buttons that are only working with Nintendo 64. Currently. Obviously, with Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat, you can map your keys, but you're still limited to those 2 buttons. I think those 2 buttons equate to A and B on the Nintendo 64 controller, which are the 2
So you want those
ones.
C buttons. You need those C buttons.
Yes. So the problem is the C buttons are not mapped at all, which is key to fighting games, because those 4 buttons, the yellow C buttons, are medium kick, medium punch, and heavy kick, heavy punch, right?
But this is promising. This is promising. If they can knuckle down that mapping.
That's right. So here I'm pointing out that the D-pad is not mapped, which is if they want to map the D-pad and all the analog stick and all the buttons, there's no way that's possible, right? So
they might be able to
sense
have a
that
switch. They might be able to have a switch. You could switch it over between the analog and the D-pad.
Maybe that's a good idea. But obviously, the analog stick is more heavily used on Nintendo 64, which makes sense for them to map the analog stick. So here are the C yellow buttons that we're saying is not mapped at all as well. So these are not mapped. So forget it. You can see that the green and the blue button, which is the B and A, they're mapped. They're the two buttons I was using on the fight stick.
Okay.
These two buttons here, these are mapped to this back button here.
Okay. Both of them.
Yeah. Both of them, which which made no sense. I provided that feedback, so they'll fix that hopefully. These two buttons are not mapped at all. At all. They need to repurpose those buttons. But when you calculate all the buttons all together, these buttons here, ignoring the start button, and in this case, it actually needs one more button if you want to map all the buttons on a Nintendo 64 controller. So
they might have
that is going to be control panels is cramped enough already, right? So
it's true.
There's no way you can put a button here because that just makes no sense. So maybe do like similar to a run button here, or
down there, or maybe a bit to the right of that.
Or they could do the old school style and put a button here on top of the joystick. You remember those joysticks? Here's a video of them, sharing how they're testing on their side. So, so basically, here they're using the Nintendo Switch to test it.
Should be easy enough for them to remap those buttons. I'd like to see them bring out an actual 64 control deck, like we said, with a Z button down below. It would probably work, and maybe a switch so you can change it between analog stick and D-pad.
But no. Now we talk about these little small stuff here. That is it a feasible product, I guess.
That's true.
Adding this and that, it makes it quite a fiddly product. Which is why it's delayed in the first place. So as we know, Nintendo 64 has always been a troublesome console. All right, so it's final thoughts time, Reese. So let's just share our final thoughts. So I'll share my one first. So overall, I'm very excited about IntecGaming. The 4 products that we've announced tonight, the PlayStation, obviously I've already got that already, so I won't be purchasing that. So, but I'm sure there are people out there that will struggling to find the dongles will enjoy this product. So that's good for them. Genesis, I'm not a Sega fan, but I'm keen on Mega Drive. I am keen on maybe getting one and start building a cartridge. But the one I'm most looking forward to is the N64. It's not coming this year, but I'm hoping that they do fix those video issues and key mappings and make it available as soon as possible, because that's the one that I'm looking forward to the most. The N64 and the Pinball. It does have my interest. I mean, I'm really keen to know what they're going to do with the DMD and the horizontal games, and whether they're going to integrate a control panel. I'm very excited for the Pinball product, and if they can release it this year, damn, I'm not gonna sell my pinball. My Arcade1Up pinball. I'm gonna keep it just for this. What about you, Reese? What's your final thoughts on these 4 products that we announced today?
Well, never here nor there for the NES. I mean, if depending on price, I might pick one up. The Mega Drive Genesis, that's an instant buy for me. As soon as it's available, I'm getting one of those. I've got a stack of games, stack of cartridges for it, slap it in. I would have liked to see, I know it's highly unlikely, ports for Sega CD or 32X. Compatibility, but I know without spending $600, that's just not going to be feasible. Really excited to see that Pinball. I'm keen to see the development on that DMD. It's not a game.
Is it a deal breaker for you, reckon?
It's not a deal breaker. If they can't make that work, it's not a deal breaker. Just especially with the possibility to play just regular games with control panel, maybe down the bottom. So I'm definitely keen to see the progress of that. And the 64, wow, had no idea about that coming. So I'm really keen to see the progress of that next year, and I'll definitely be getting one of those as well.
In general, IntecGaming, look, I wasn't expecting a commercial company, because we know that with Arcade1Up, there's a lot of small third-party, independent sellers out there that does artwork, that does control panels. They're all small or minor, but this is the first commercial company out there that's offering third-party products for Arcade1Up, which is exciting. I'm hoping this is the first of many others joining in this niche, because hopefully other small or even bigger companies come up with additional stuff that can expand or reuse our Gen 1, Gen 2 cabs, or even other cabs that we have in there, because we know right now
cabs or something.
we know that the pricing for the new cabs is going to be too expensive, and this is an easy way to repurpose our cabs.
Absolutely. Why no love for the Super Nintendo? I'll just throw that one
Oh
out
yeah,
there
that's
if
a good
you're watching.
question. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are asking the same question as well. Super NES, it makes perfect sense to provide one for a Super NES as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's coming out. So having IntecGaming provide this option, how do you feel this to a AtGames Legends Ultimate and a iArcade? Do you reckon this is a product they should be worried about?
It definitely probably would take, especially AtGames, because the AtGames Legends plays a lot of these console games, so it probably would take a slice of their pie, because AtGames Legends is how many dollars?
500 or 600, 600 US.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There might be someone sitting there going, "Oh, AtGames Legends," and then they see Intec and they go, "Oh, I've already got a heap of those NES cartridges or Mega Drive cartridges. Let's go with that." I'm not sure if iArcade would have to be too worried about Intec.
Basically, Intec is basically repurposing a console, right? Like a Switch.
That's right.
And iArcade's model is a console arcade machine. Look, personally, I've got iArcade and the Switch fight stick, so I do see overlap. There's definitely overlap here, and obviously there's a huge advantage to Nintendo Switch. Obviously, they've got a bigger library, they've got a bigger presence, and they're a bigger brand, bigger name. That's right. Yeah. So now, if I was to if someone asked me which one would you recommend, I'll ask them, how big is your Nintendo Switch library? Because if you own a lot of games, it makes sense just to buy this, and if you have an Arcade1Up, plug it in and you're done. But if you don't have an arcade, which will release a review video this week, hopefully, there are definitely pros and cons as well with the arcade. Cool. Any final thoughts on IntecGaming itself?
I'm really excited for them. I think they set the home arcade world on fire with some of these, especially that Pinball and the 64. I think they could be turning a lot of heads, drawing a lot of people's attention, including my own.
It's good to mention that these IntecGaming product is readily available on Amazon. If you're a Prime member, it's free shipping as well. So this is not something that you have to import and pay a lot of shipping for. So they made this product accessible to worldwide.
Fantastic.
Definitely for Australia's always been left out. All right, so look, I'm keen to know what you guys think out there. Tell us what you think. If you own a Nintendo Switch version, do you love it? How are you enjoying it? Because I know in the mod community they're loving it, and if you're one of those, let me know why you like about it.
What are your favorite games on it?
Yeah, what games do you play? All right, Reecey. So that's all for this show. Let's talk about what's coming up in your world and what to expect on your YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. I'll leave a link up there below. Yep.
Working my way towards 500 subs at the moment.
That's good.
So I should have the most expensive Arcade1Up video very soon, working on that.
I'm really keen to know why it's so expensive. Or is there a PlayStation 5 in there?
There's a bit. I might try the PS5, but I'm using Intec technology in that. You just have to watch the video to find out.
So when are we going to expect that video? Later this week?
Yeah, later this week.
Yep, excellent. All right. Yep. So that's okay. Good to know. So guys, make sure you check out BigReecey's YouTube channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. That's it, guys. That's all for this video. Hopefully you found this information announcements very useful, and hopefully you're excited like we are, because there's a lot of good products that IntecGaming is coming out this year and maybe next year. I'm definitely excited for, and hopefully I think this is refreshing news and announcement to you, other than there's no negativity that's going around in the community at the moment with Arcade1Up.
Something positive.
Something positive, and it's something positive to look forward to. Yeah,
something exciting. Yep, I'm excited.
Great, guys. All right, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and if you like this video, hit that like button and share it with all your friends. All right, guys, have a good night or have a good morning. See you later.
All right.
See ya.
Take it easy.